to do that. All right, so we are ready. It's August. Welcome our new managers. I listed their names already, but they're not on the recording, so I'm going to say them again. Kelly Hutchings, Kim Brockway, Lacey Muller, Melanie Ouellette, and Cheyenne McDaniel. So we certainly want to welcome them to the leadership group. Anybody have a business happy you want to share, since I don't have anything yet? Anybody? Hi, Melina. Anything good that happened since reunion? Nothing?
So much good has happened since reunion. I don't want to take the whole hour. I'll let you do your regularly scheduled program. But yes, I've been on fire since reunion. That was the best reunion ever.
It was really good, really good. So very exciting. All right, awesome. Welcome, Trina. See you joined us. Okay, so the Bash Bucks video I mentioned is on channel. So if you guys haven't done one yet, and you want to do one, it's just give you an example of what's possible. And she does create one video for all of the parties, the Blend Bashes that she does. She doesn't do one individually for each party. So, but that's up to you. All right. The other thing is Bash Camp. You know that we have done that live for what, a year and a half, close to, and we would have launched it in August. However, with the PZ Academy launching, we are actually going to take it online. So what will happen going forward is we're going to record the 6 weeks, and honestly, it's probably going to be down to about 4 different training sessions, because some of the Bash Camp stuff is already in the Pink Sapphire training module. So I'm not going to repeat that. So I think I can get it down to 4 sessions, and it's going to get recorded in this next week. As soon as the recording is done, I will send a message out to you guys to let you know that Bash Camp is now uploaded to the PZ Academy. So anyone that needs to go through it or wants to go through it can then do it at their leisure, instead of course, being committed to those Thursday nights that we've done in the past. So I hope that's okay with everybody. Plus, it allows us to track through the Academy. Everything is done manually that we've done up to this point, with tracking points and doing all that. Welcome, Liz. So with the Academy, we'll be able to let the Academy track it for us. So it'll make it a lot easier on our end and hopefully easier on yours. So does anybody have any comments at all about the Academy that I just love to hear?
For Bash Camp, we don't have to do it again, right?
You do not have to do it again. If you've done Bash Camp one time in your career, you're done. But I certainly would encourage your new people to just do it so they've got it behind them. So plus there's some just good basic training out there. So. But I'd love, you don't have to tell me now, but if you guys have any comments about the Academy, send them my way. If there's trainings that you feel we need to add there, Melina and Danielle have agreed to do their social media training, and I haven't honestly reached out to the other trainers, but I'm going to do that. So we'll be able to get some of the workshops from reunion that I think will work well in the Academy recorded, so that you'll have some access to that stuff as well. So anyway, that's pretty exciting. Let's see. Oh, Rally Leader apps are due tonight. So if you guys haven't applied, make sure you take care of that. Okay, now we're going to get started. I honestly was trained on ZebraREACH about 3 hours ago. So I'm going to do my best to train you guys. It's pretty easy, but I'm going to do a share screen, and I'm going to take you, rather than do this through PowerPoint like we normally do, I'm going to take you right to ZebraREACH in our test mode. You guys as leaders will have access to it. I was waiting for a response from Tahira to see if it was going to be right after this call. If you don't see it tonight, you will have something in the morning, just so you know. And we are going, let me just jump to it to make sure I can get it on the screen while this all works like it's supposed to. Okay, this should be it. You guys need to tell me if you can see it. So like Crystal, I can see you, or Danielle, I can see you. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so you're able to see it. So this is what the new ZebraREACH is going to look like, okay? This is absolutely the test one, and what you're going to be using over the next couple weeks is going to be the test one. So if you go to ZebraREACH in your normal workstation at the very top bar where it has ZebraREACH, you click on that, you're going to see the old ZebraREACH, and that will be true until we tell you that the switchover has happened, okay? Technically, you know, we're taking this live, but I really feel like I'd like you guys to play with it for a week or two before we go fully live and get rid of one and bring in the new. So when the new is completely ready, you guys have tested it for this next 2 weeks, and you say things are looking really good, we'll put it on your tab on your back office then. Does that sound okay? Okay. I'm looking at my text just to me a message. Because sometimes you send me stuff by text and I need to be aware of it. Nope, no, we're good. Okay, so what this is going to look like going forward, and I'm going to be kind of looking at my notes because I took notes while I was going through the training today, and I just want to make sure that I cover everything that I, was told. So if I'm looking back and forth a little bit, I probably need to. So managers and above, of course, are the only ones that are going to have access to it tonight. We'll do the all consultant training tomorrow, and then everyone will have access to it, but it'll be the same thing. It's going to be in test mode for this immediate few weeks. And we may not have to take it a full 2 weeks. It may only be a week, but we'll give you the heads up about that. Let's see. I will give you an email address at the end of this that you can send your comments and your feedback to if you would be willing to do that, so that we have one place that we're collecting all of the information, okay? Danielle saying yes. Okay, good. Is any of you, if you've used Constant Contact in the past, this is very similar. So if you are a Constant Contact user, you're probably going to feel pretty comfortable with ZebraREACH. And know that this is going to be a multi-phase release. So phase 1 is happening now, of course, and it will basically be email and text messaging only. But I will tell you at this moment, text messaging is not active. Okay, so that will come hopefully in the next week or so. You'll see it before the end of August, no question. But right now it's going to be email function that you're going to actually be working with and testing. Okay. We're going to be obviously adding more features down the road that are going to be really awesome that you guys are going to absolutely love. So just know this is going to be a multi-phase release. So first, what you see on the screen is an overview of course test emails that have been put out there. So if you've ever used Constant Contact, this is very similar. So you guys can see my little hand, right? Danielle, tell me yes. Can you see that little hand that's moving? Okay. So you see draft here, which means that's an email that you've created that has not been sent. Okay. So if you're ever curious, like did my email go out, you're going to see it like this, where it actually got sent and it'll be in sent mode. So you'll know right away. Okay. So you can scan down here and see, you'll see down here where it says view all campaigns. So if you've got multiple campaigns out there, you're going to see all the page numbers down here and you'll be able to look back through them. You can also filter, if you see up here, it says by filter by date, title, or subject. So what I do in Constant Contact a lot of times is if I'm going to do a message that's going out, let's say about reunion as an example, I don't have to go in and create a brand new email every time, or my Bash Camp is a perfect example. So when I would send the stuff out for Bash Camp, I could go find an old email that was for, let's say, week 1 when I would do my recap from the previous Bash Camp, and then I could find the sent one, copy it, and then make my changes to make it current. So that's what you might want to look back to an old campaign that really worked successfully for you or that you really like that you don't want to recreate from scratch. You can go back in and copy. Once you've actually sent an email, so I'm going to click on this one just to kind of show you this. This just says, of course, you've got YOO, which is a test. That's all it was. So if you went into this campaign, you might think, okay, I can go in here and I can add some letters to it and change it and do whatever I want to do to it and then send it out. It is not going to resend or save any changes you've made to an already sent out email, okay? So just be aware of that. So when you really look at your, this thing is kind of in my way. When you look at your older campaigns, okay, let me get back to it now. This thing is in my way and I can't see there we go. And look at your older campaign. If it says sent, you cannot go in and change it and resend it. What you would do is come over here where you see more and you can copy it. And then it'll copy the message, whatever thing you put out there, and then you can make the adjustments and send it. Okay, does that make sense? All right, let me look at my notes here to make sure I've got all my stuff that I want to tell you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Any of these don't really matter. I mean, I can click on any of these emails. It's not really going to help you at all because these are all campaign emails that have been out there before. If you want to delete one as well, you've created it, you just weren't happy with it, you just want to get it off your list, you can delete it right there as well. Now, if you're going to create a new campaign, then you go into either create up here in the top right corner, or you go into create campaign. Either one, they're going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to, and I want to note, you see right here, this says email. this says text, this says all. So when you are looking at your campaigns, if you want to just look at your text ones, you can click that. If you want to just look at your email ones, you can click that. Or if you want to see all of them, then you can click all. So that allows you to just review anything that you've done in the past. Okay, so here I create campaign, and I'm going to email in this case because we know the text isn't really working active correctly right now. So in here, you see campaign name. So you're going to name it how you might search for it. So it's going to be maybe your back to school special as an example, something like that. You know, whatever you want it to be. Here is your campaign subject. So that's going to be what your customer is going to see when they get the email from you. That's what they're going to see. Wait till you see this, whatever you're going to type. And then obviously you're coming down here. This works much like any newsletter editor or Word, where you've got bold, you've got strike through, you've got underscore. The only thing I'll tell you is if you highlight or say bold, it doesn't highlight the bold like in Word, you know that you've got it in bold mode. But if I type, it's going to type in bold mode, okay? That's just one of those things that they'll fix, one of those little idiosyncrasies. So if I unclick bold now and type fast again, it's not going to be bold any longer. Okay, so you can see the difference. So all of these things are pretty much what you're used to, bullet points, all of that kind of stuff, increasing the size of your or not the size, but the font, what do you call that, style, whatever. So all those things are pretty common. If you want to insert hyperlink, you guys know what a hyperlink is? Okay, so you're going to point it to a YouTube video. So let's say if I go out to YouTube and I'm going to just copy a YouTube video that's out there. So I'm copying that link. Okay, I'm going to go back to this software. And I'm actually, the only way it works, typically you can go into a hyperlink like this and you can drop in your hyperlink. It does not work that way. So you need to type in, click here as an example. Whoops. We don't care if it's spelled right. So I would highlight this, click here. I would go to the hyperlink and I would drop in my YouTube. So if you wanted to send like a Matchbox video or something like that, that's how you would do it, and insert. So now you can see, and that's not spelled right, but now you can see it highlights it and it's hyperlinked. So when your customer gets, or your downline gets this message, they can click on that and it'll go to whatever YouTube or whatever it is that you uploaded there, okay? But if you go straight here and do it, it's not gonna work, okay? So once you do your message, if you look over here, can you guys see this? Because I don't know, can I shrink this down? Hide thumbnail video, yes. So now I can't see you guys for a moment, but I wanted you to see this. So you're gonna have customer, and you're gonna have consultant. And this is the coolest thing ever. So let's say I wanted to say hi, and I want my customer's first name to pop in here. I hit first name, and then I go back to, I might do a colon, and then I type a message. If I'm sending it to my downline, I can do the same thing. I can, full name, oh, see, this is you. This isn't the same thing. This is for you. So in your case, if I want my message to end with my name, I click on it. With my phone, I click on it. With my replicated site, I click on it. All that stuff is automatically going to appear in my message. All right, now I want to get back to you. Okay, what do you think of that? Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah, Melina. I mean, this is what really allows you to personalize those messages, and all you have to do is click the stuff over here and it's going to appear. The only thing is, if you put anything in between those brackets there, anywhere in here between those brackets, it is not going to work. So be very sensitive to the fact when you type in a message and you hit that first name, last name, whatever it is, do not fool around with that, because it is not going to work if you do, okay? So the next thing I do is I'm going to hit next down here in the bottom right corner. And then it's going to give me a choice of who I'm going to send it to. Caitlin Gorecki said, love this. So that's awesome. Okay, so I've got my back to school special. This is my campaign. This is my information here that I could change it if I wanted to change my subject line. Now I'm going to decide who to send it to. So I'm going to send this to my customers, and we don't have many out here. So I'm going to say my order subtotal. So this is kind of what Tom talked about at Reunion. If you wanted to send it to customers that are 150 more in sales, they've never bought anything from you before, they're over 500 in a 6-month period, whatever criteria you want to select, you just type the information here. So I'm going to say 0 because we don't have any orders entered in here yet for the database that we've just been playing with. So now you can do your starting date. So if you said 0 and you wanted to send it to people that had not bought from you in the last 3 months, let's say. So then you could go in here and enter your dates, and I'm not going to fool around with these. I mean, it's pretty simple. A calendar comes up and you just enter your dates. You guys can figure that out. And then I'm going to add. So you can, the starting date that you're looking at that criteria from and the ending date both. Okay? Now, only one customer comes up because that's all we have in here, but you'll see that person comes up. Now, if you get a list of a whole bunch of customers and you want to remove some people from the list because there's certain people you might not want this communication to go to, when you see that list all down here, all you have to do is unclick their name. So you can go in there, and even though you've got this criteria set and these customers come up, you can unclick them, and then the email will not go to those specific people, okay? Make sense? Okay? And then you can, we don't think the send test is working yet. If you guys want to play with it and try it, technically what that's going to do is send you to your email that's on file here. It's going to send you a test email, but we don't think that's working yet. Over here, which I have to get rid of you guys for a second because I can't see this, is the schedule. So you have a choice here of when to send it. You might send it right now, so you can hit the send now, or you might decide that you want to schedule it for later. So if you're going to schedule it for later, you have to pick a date. So let's say I want it to go out on Friday. I'm going to pick the 9th. And then I want it to go out at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's always going to be in Central Time. It tells you that right there. So you'll have to adjust to your time zone depending on what you're looking for. If you don't fill out these little things, you don't click on these, your schedule button is not going to highlight. You can click on it. So if the schedule button is a light pink and it's not letting you hit it, it's because you have not clicked something in this area, okay? So every one of these has to be clicked on so it knows when to send that out. And then I'm going to schedule it, and it's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to bring you guys back. All right, that seems pretty explanatory, don't you think? Good? Okay, so the other question you might have, let me look and see what else I can do for you. Contacts. I'm going to come up here. So you've got your campaigns, which is where we've been. And now I'm going to go to contacts. Okay, there is a difference between contacts and customers. Okay, does anybody know what you think it would be if you unmute yourself? What would you think? Anybody want to guess? Nobody's going to guess. You chickens.
Is that our lead?
Actually purchased in your back office, and contacts are who you're entering in there yourself.
Diana wins. She wins. Yes, you're right. So you go to an event this past weekend, you've got contacts. They've never bought from you before. They've never been in our database before. You need to go into contacts and enter them. If they've already purchased from you and they're in their database, when you go live with this, your customers are going to be here, okay? So that is the difference. So if you want to just send an email to all of those customers that you just met at an event this past weekend, you can create an email and send it just to them. And then, of course, anything to your customers you could do separately. So it allows you to do that. And then same thing with your downline. Your downline will be in when you go live. So you'll have all your team members out here. And you can do the same kind of search criteria in terms of activity level. You'll be able to do that with your downline, but I'm going to show you that in a second. Add contacts over here. You can import from Gmail, but That feature is not yet working, okay? So I'll just tell you that. And again, once we go live with this, when I say live, I mean, technically we are, but we're trying to keep it in test mode, at least to get a little feedback from you guys and to figure out a few of these little things that we know are not working correctly. So importing from Gmail is not working correctly yet, but it will. And then you can, of course, go in and type one contact at a time. So if you want to go in there and enter this stuff individually for people that you've met, you can go in here and, of course, put their name, their phone number, all that. The notes area, you can type where you met them. You bring up the record, you're going to see that information. I would suggest that if you've done a follow-up call with them specifically, you might just type your notes right here, kind of like a CRM. And I've asked them if there's a way that we could do a list of these people where, like, down the road, let's say that you contact them and they say, call me in October. I'm just not ready right now, that you'd be able to indicate something on here and it would tell you in October to contact this particular customer. So that's something down the road that we hope it'll develop to, so that really truly becomes a contact management system for you. So obviously once you enter somebody, you want to save them, and then it's going to have them in your contact list, okay? I'm trying to remember, and like I said, I just learned this like 3 hours ago, so you guys have to be patient with me. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember how to get to the spot. Let me go through my notes. I want to show you one other thing. Right now, you cannot drop an image yet. So,
Hey, Connie.
yes, ma'am.
Lori actually had a good question. I'm going to ask it now.
Okay.
Will it automatically change contacts to customers once they order from us?
I believe it will, yes.
Okay. And everyone else is loving this, by the way, because I know you don't see the notes. Everyone else is loving this, especially for the customer follow-up side of things. So thank you.
Cool. And just, be patient with this. This was a big undertaking. It is totally taking us away from our, you hear Tom talk all the time about that third-party provider that creates, honestly, some challenges for us because they have the database. This is all being created under the Pink Zebra umbrella. So we have full control over it, and it is our owned program. So it really will give us some potential down the road that we don't have to rely on IDSTC to do the stuff that we need to do. Okay, so if anything comes up, Danielle, that you see, let me know, because I do not see the comments at all. All right, I have to review my notes, so be patient with me, guys, because I want to make sure there's everything I've told you. Okay, so the big thing from marketing is that you will be able to see an open and close rate. So why that's important to you, you see this right here. So this open rate and click rate, I didn't mean close, I didn't mean open and close, I meant open and click, really tells you how many customers you're engaging, okay? And then if 25% of the people you're sending it to are actually opening it, how many of them, and this is not a great example, of course, because it says 0, but we haven't, tested that side of it. How many of them are actually clicking through some of the links you have in there, which means they're engaging with your email. So it is, in the company I worked for before, we had this open click thing here. So what I would do with it, when I went through my report, I would actually, let's say if Diana was one of my customers on here, and I saw that she had clicked through a couple of the different things, I would just contact her, and I certainly can't say, oh, Diana, I saw you clicked on a couple of things. I don't want people to feel like I'm sitting in their computer watching what they're doing. I would just say, did you get this month's newsletter? And you would say, yes. So what did you think of the Join special or the Simmer Pot special or whatever? So I would just ask a leading question of her, knowing full well that she clicked on some of that stuff, but now I've got a reason to pick up the phone and call her, and it's probably a little bit more of a targeted call than just this arbitrary, who am I going to call today kind of thing. So the click rate is huge for you. The other thing is I want to share a couple things that Sherry told me to share with you guys tonight that may help you increase your click rate. So by you doing certain things, you can increase that click rate, which just means you're engaging customers in a higher level. All right.
All right, I got 2 questions.
Yes. Good.
I'm just keeping an eye on these for you.
Just know, I might not be able to answer them all. So if I can't answer anything tonight, I will ask that answer back to you.
Angie just asked her questions, and we all know Angie and her.
Angie knows ZebraREACH really well. So I was actually going to ask her to do the training tonight, to tell you the truth. So anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so the first one's Trina. She wants to know, while I was in the test mode, Will emails go out to customers and when we send it and play with it now? Like, so say it's in the test mode and I send an email to a customer, will it go out to them?
Yeah. All right. So to answer that question, I will confirm this with Tahir tomorrow morning. But when you go to, I have this in complete test mode right now. When you guys access it, I told you earlier, if you go to ZebraREACH in your back office at the top, it's going to be the old ZebraREACH. If you go down to the bottom of your website and there is your, what does it say? I wrote it down in here, so hold on a second. Let's see. The consultant login that's at the bottom of your website, yes. There is going to be an arrow there, and it's going to say ZebraREACH. If you click on that one, you're going to be in the test, okay? So it's like two different ones running almost side by side. But what I will find out for sure, Danielle, I believe that if you, or Trina really is asking the question, if you send a message to your customer, they're going to get it. But I will confirm that and send a message to you guys or post it first thing in the morning on Leaders, okay?
All right. The next one is Cindy asked, are messages sent to all of our contacts now, or do we have to create these?
No messages go to your contacts today, if that's what she's asking.
I think she means the customers, actually.
Okay. Because we have to distinguish between contacts and customers. So right now, today, we are sending out emails on your behalf. Customers are getting the specials, the promotions, that kind of stuff. So you will be interacting with your customers on a different level by using ZebraREACH. So you might do some very specific targeted email campaign to someone that hasn't bought from you in 3 months, you know, for replenishing. Maybe somebody that, you know, you had this group of people that you met at an event 4 months ago and you want to reconnect with them. Maybe it's to all past hostesses and you want to send a message to them. Maybe it's somebody that's your VIP group because they've been buying from you. They've bought over $500 in the last 7 months from you and you want to send a thank you message. I mean, that's the kind of stuff initially that you're going to be using this for. Down the road, we will be having your email that we send out for you on your behalf coming through ZebraREACH, because then you'll be able to see your open and your click rates. And that's what we want to get in your hands. How many of your customers are engaging in even the emails that we send out on your behalf? But that's not in the first phase.
Okay. Angie wants to know, do our current leads that are in ZebraREACH transfer over, or will we need to re-enter them?
When she says leads, would those be considered contacts and not customers, would you think?
Yes.
Okay, then I will double check that to make sure, but I believe they will.
All right, hold on. If we have customers in the old ZebraREACH, so we have to put them in the new one. That's the same thing, same question.
Okay.
Will customers already be in ZebraREACH, or we imported to new? Okay, everyone wants to know basically about those customers and contacts going into the new ZebraREACH from the old.
Okay, so customers that are already in your database will absolutely be in the new ZebraREACH. Contacts, I need to confirm.
Do we need to download do we need to add our downlines, or will they automatically be loaded too?
Downlines will be in there.
Okay, all right, I think I'm caught up to everybody because a lot of people have the same question.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, absolutely, thank you. All right, so let me see if there's anything I missed in my notes. I would just want to make sure. Okay, we did the creating of the campaign. We talked about merge tokens. That's what that's called, where you guys can pick your, you know, first name, last name, that kind of stuff. I told you inserting image is not available yet, but it will be. You know how to insert the hyperlink. You know how to change text color. You can do bold. You can do all that kind of stuff. Oh, there is another thing too that in the creating of the emails, you can actually do a timestamp. I don't remember. I think it's right here. See this? Insert date and insert time. It'll go to the bottom of your message if you want it there. And we were kind of talking about today, like, why would you need to do that? So I thought maybe if I was sending out an email campaign and I do it on a Monday morning at 9 in the morning, maybe it would be good for me to see. Then I do one a week later and it has a much higher click rate, but I did it on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Maybe it would help you see where you can increase your click rates based on the time or day you send it out. I mean, that's just, and you don't have to use that. I just want to tell you that the feature's there. Let's see.
One more.
That's okay.
Are we able to upload our own graphics into the new ZebraREACH?
You cannot yet. So the graphic cannot be uploaded yet, but that is absolutely coming, and we're trying to get that as quickly as we can because we know that's going to be very, very important. So, and down the road, marketing is going to be uploading some templates for you. So if you want to use some of their templates, you can. So that's going to come as well, but that will not be in the first phase. Let's see, I told you about the sending now versus sending later, making sure you got all the fields. Let's see. Okay, so I want to just, honestly, I can't figure out how to show you downline. Oh, what I'm trying to show you is, I wonder, oh, I know what I need to do. Now I know. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pretend this is an email going out, and I'm going to send it to my downline. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. So I'm going to send this to my team. So I click on consultants rather than contacts or customers. And now I can select a type. So right now you can do level 1. You can go 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, you can't do 1 through 5. So I've asked them to change that, where if you wanted to send something just to your level 1s, 2s, and 3s, rather than you doing now 3 separate emails to your level 1s first, then your level 2s, then your level 3s, I would like them to put a range here so you could decide if you wanted to send it to more than 1 level at a time. I believe down the road, you will be able to also send by rank. So I think that's coming as well. And then I believe when you look at this date field, which has nothing, the other thing you're going to be able to do is same kind of thing like you did with your customers, that you'll be able to put a date range in there. So if you wanted to reconnect with somebody that has not sold in the last 4 months, let's say, you'll be able to do that. So some of those things will come in the next phase. That makes sense? Yep. Okay. So a couple things that Sherry wanted me to share with you guys to really maximize the use of ZebraREACH. She just recommends that you try to learn everything you can about email marketing. The internet, of course, is full of information. So things like best practices, how to effectively use subject lines, you know, there's words in there that definitely grab people's attentions. Things like all bold that we think looks like it's big news and it's exciting turns people off. So there's things that if you just do some research, and I see Crystal kind of shaking her head, she's probably done a lot of that already, but it's important that you like gain some knowledge about this stuff so that you can obviously maximize your efforts. And then just creating compelling content. That's another thing. I mean, you know, people's attention span is about the size of a pinhead. So, you know, brief is important, but you can look up some articles on creating compelling content when you start doing some of these email campaigns. Obviously, this is going to be great for events. Any of you that are doing events, you're collecting all these contacts, you don't know what to do with them. Now you're going to have a place to put them and then have some targeted messages that you can send to them. Really is going to give you an opportunity to create some personal connections with customers. You know, it might be that you might do a birthday campaign. You could do so many different things with people. So product recommendations, recipe ideas, that kind of stuff that we wouldn't normally send out, you can now do that very easily. A join special, when you're able to put the join special image there, now you can create a hyperlink for it and put a link in there right now, but then it would allow you, if you're going to send out a message, to put something personal in there, like what you've been so excited about with the business, maybe what they, you know, should expect if they decided to join your team, how exciting it is because you're building this empire. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you'll be able to do with it. Certainly, you know, you can schedule the post. We talked about that. So if you wanted to line up something to go out for the next month, you could schedule your post for every Friday and create your content for it. And then down the road, you'll be able to actually see, and this may be in phase 2 or phase 3, one of our big reasons for doing this is for you to actually see the sales that were generated from a specific campaign. So as we do a sale campaign or a join special, and you're able to force it through here, through ZebraREACH, it'll give you statistics on how much people actually purchased as a result, or what people joined as a result of your campaigns that you're sending out. So,
Connie?
Yep.
Sorry, just a reminder to everybody that we have anti-spam legislation here in Canada, so you cannot be emailing people like every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. It's up to a $10,000 fine.
Wow. Okay. So be aware of that. And obviously you guys probably get emails from retailers every single day, and that drives you crazy. So it's a good
So
thing
just
to
keep
point out.
that in mind, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
test your family and friends first, because they're the most understanding.
Yeah, and that's what I would do with this if you're in test mode now anyway. I mean, I would put in your contacts area some of your friends, you know, your mom, whatever, and just let them know you're going to test this and send out a few emails and see what it looks like. And then obviously you can always put yourself in there, so you can send emails to yourself just to see what the emails actually look like. So if you are going to try to do any images at all, you will have to go back to the old ZebraREACH. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. And as soon as I've got any news on when images will be available, when some of the updates are happening, we will try to keep you guys, you know, as informed as we can as far as what's happening with ZebraREACH, because this next couple weeks we'll probably see a number of changes that are made. So, okay, with that, I'm pretty well done. I will tell you the feedback. Here is the email, and I will post this as well. It is ZebraREACH@pinkzebrahome.com. Okay? So ZebraREACH@pinkzebrahome.com. Now, he gave me a password, but I don't think there's any reason you would need a password if you're sending us an email. So I'm not even going to give that to you, but if anybody has any issue with it, let me know and I'll post it. But it doesn't make sense to me at all. I think you'll get it. Let's see. To access this, just to make sure you remember, you're going to go down to the consultant login at the bottom of your website, and there's going to be an arrow there, and that's where you're going to access the new ZebraREACH. Okay? And you will use the same login as your consultant, your username and password that you currently use today. Okay? And then I have a couple other things from Tahir that he wanted me to tell you guys. It says when you click send test, according to him, maybe this does work then, it will send the email or text to the user that is currently logged in. Okay, so that would be you, of course. If you're sending a text campaign, now he's talking about text, so maybe you guys should try it. Don't forget that opt-in is a requirement. So if the recipient is not opted in, they won't get the text, and you have no way to know if they are opted in or not because it's a privacy matter, okay? To opt in, they can text. You guys have probably seen this. They text PZ, and there's a number. I'll post this just so you guys have it. And to opt out, they can text opt out, OPTOUT. And I think you guys saw that with some of the tests they did before. Now, according to this, he says the email editor, it won't allow drag and drop from images, not yet. And you will have to use that image URL. And we talked about how to put that URL link in there. You're using the same credentials to log in. Any schedule of time is based on Central. I told you that. And it may happen that the email open click counter is not accurate yet. Sometimes it takes days to reflect it because they have external factors that are outside of their hands. So just be aware that that might fluctuate a little bit. That's all the news from IT. All right, anybody have any other questions before we wrap up tonight? Helpful? Hopefully.
Is this going to be, when are we going to be able to access this?
You can access it, try tonight, because he got all the leaders, like all of your IDs this afternoon, so he was going to turn it on for everybody this evening, so it may already be active.
The link is showing up for me, but when I go to log in, it's telling me you have reached a page that doesn't exist.
Okay, so if that's happening, I'm going to send a message to Tahir and let him know, and at worst, first thing tomorrow morning. But I'll post something to leaders right away and let you guys know, because he was going to try to get that going tonight, so you'd be able to jump in and start playing with it. So, but if not, it'll be first thing in the morning, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, helpful?
I'm excited.
You guys good? All right, anything else before I say goodnight to you? Nope. All right, thanks for being on tonight. Good to see you.
Thanks, Connie.
All right, take care. Bye.